Hello everyone, it's me Doomlink, and I would like to welcome you all back to Generations Ultimate. This is the first time that I'm recording at this time of day, on this particular day of the week, in several weeks, probably, well, more than a month, definitely. And, it's good to be here. And I do have a beverage, a good beverage at that. I'm trying to get my phone out of my pocket. I don't like having things in my pockets while I'm recording. I don't know why. I don't like having things on my lap or things in my pockets. It's just a distraction. And to be honest, it's like that when I'm playing games anyway. Like, if you're in a seated position and, you're going to be there for a while, it's nice to not have clutter either in your pockets or on you. So, yeah. Let's move that keyboard to the side. And, yeah. Boom stand adjustment. Hopefully not at the expense of your ears. I am, I'm just checking what's going on. God, the playback on my... Oh, look out. Hair. The playback on my laptop looks so terrible because my laptop screen is so terrible, so... I don't know what I was expecting to see there, but anyway. God. Sometimes I'm shocked by how bad my laptop looks. Which again is why I was not... I had no reservations about throwing my controller at my laptop because it is just a piece of shit, so it is worth noting that that is the case. I will make a room because I will at least, I believe, have Vernon and Autonomic playing. Autonomic hasn't confirmed that he's able to play, but he is in the chat, so I'm guessing he will come. So, with that taken into consideration, I think it would be best to just make a room instead of looking for a room that would accommodate us. We will just wait for a random fourth, or perhaps there is a third person who's watching, or will be watching, that would like to join. We will see what happens. I will name the room G-Rank, although the name of the room won't be too terribly important. But, yeah, let's set it to an HR minimum of 13, and away we go. So laggy from Autonomic today. So you two have been playing and you've been getting a lot of lag from him. Well, hopefully that doesn't mean you'll be getting even more lag from me. Aha, Juvenator. So we will have a full room together. So that's always good. Which means that I will be reserving all spaces for viewers. Feels like it's been ages since I last played with Juvenator in this game. It has been more than a month. So, yeah. There you go. Oh, right. That is definitely not how you spell laggy in short form. L-A-G-G-Y. I don't know if you think that I'm inside your head, but any human being would interpret that as the word laggy in the context of a video game. So, there you go. Okay, listen. I understand, Vernon, that you just cannot conceptualize or conceive of sensible monster shortenings, but please just say L-A-G-I, because it's not spelled L-A-G-G-Y across. It's just not. So, I mean, how you... Rat is somewhat understandable because you haven't added letters, right? You haven't actually added anything to and create rat from Rathalos or Raytheon, but with laggy, that's completely different. You've actually added letters to that one, just so that it can be more confusing to anyone who reads it. And, I mean, it's starting to drive me nuts. Alright, so... Oh yeah, beverage today is Franciscano. I haven't consumed this on camera in a long time. Well, maybe not so long, probably something like... Oh no, yeah, it's probably been about a year. At least a year, actually. I'd forgotten that it's August of 2021. Holy shit. Where has the time gone? Seriously. Hello, Fragilities, and thank you for the follow. It has been far too long since I've been consuming decent beer on camera. The time has come again. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Okay. Keep that to the side. You made lots of Hellblade weapons? Well, I'm glad to hear that you did that in your own time instead of subjecting me to the Hellblade hunts required to acquire those. I don't like saying required to acquire. The words are too similar, it sounds awful. Just making sure the lighting's alright. I mean, I'm quite bright at the moment, but not too bright. If it does happen to get darker outside, I have the lighting conditions to, I suppose, be able to deal with that. Please no Hellblade today, says Vernon. Well, you don't need to worry about that. We're not doing Hellblade, because I don't want to do Hellblade either. So there you go. We do have Teostra, which is fitting given the weapon that I'm using. Not fitting as far as this being an appropriate weapon to use, but fitting given that I crafted this weapon out of the skin and bone of a Teostra, or many Teostras. What would I like to use? I don't have the roulette today. I couldn't be bothered personally. I really am not interested in having a roulette decide for me today. I feel like I can make my own decisions. I'm going to use Darkness Within just because I randomly saw it and decided that could be fun. So Darkness Within is essentially my raw longsword of this game. Most people use Cyanator. They are welcome to use Cyanator. That is a perfectly functional, particularly the most standard of the Cyanator longswords is a perfectly good weapon to use. And the same is the case for the Rust Razor Cyanator longsword. There are 3 Cyanator longswords. 2 different ones for the standard and 1 for Rust Razor, and that is made possible through a lot of weapons in this game getting different branches based on whether it's hyper or standard. And usually the hyper version, as you would imagine, would require more hyper materials to craft it. I don't know if that's the case with Cyanator, but yeah, the non-hyper one, the most basic one, seems to be best. That's what I preferred when I was going through the weapons, but I discovered this one as I was looking for raw longswords to craft and thought that this would be more fun. And I don't see many people use it either, so that's also a point of encouragement. We've got Exchanger, Hornblower, and Coolcat with the chef fired up. Will we trust the chef to deliver upon my expectations? We're about to see if well, I didn't get 3 skills, but at least I got what I wanted in the end. That's what's important. Okay. Well, you're welcome to go on an Ursula killing crusade, but it's going to be... You're not going to be doing more than 1, maximum 2 in this recording. I don't want to be hunting Ursula all day. What a lovely beverage. Oh, so soft looking. I mean, it is such a creamy head. It's... really. I live for those German beers. Unfortunately, I haven't had a Paulaner for quite some time. But, you know, this takes me close to Paulaner, I guess. It's not quite the same beverage. I mean, it is, in the sense that it's a wheat beer, but it's, or a Weissbier, or Weissbier, I don't know how they say it, but the point is that, you know, same style, I guess, but different taste overall. But yeah. I mean, I've talked about it before, but I was going to have... I basically had in my possession a Paulaner glass, but it was delivered to me broken. It was extremely annoying. It was a really nice one. It was a lovely Paulaner glass, and it was just, you know, delivered broken because the dick didn't package it properly. Some people, when they... You know, the purchase has been made, and then they're going to ship it to you. It's out of their hands, so they don't take responsibility for the fact that in certain cases they're shipping something very fragile. And this guy just... I can't remember how he packaged it, but it was insufficient for a glass, put it that way. Because the problem is, you've got all this empty space, so it's such a... You know, the structural integrity of this glass, when it's just sitting in a box, being delivered, I mean, it's... Yeah, it's poor. Very poor. So, yeah, basically the whole top part of the glass was shattered. It was in, like, 3 pieces, the glass itself. Well, lots of little shards. Needless to say, I got a refund because, you know, I was able to, you know, appeal to the postmaster as he was. He's the manager of my local post office. I had a chat to him about it, and he was like, yeah, fine, I can give you a refund, but just let the guy know that he could have done better with the packaging. So, What the hell am I doing with myself? I'm going the wrong ass way is what I'm doing with myself. Not because I thought that Teostra started somewhere else, but rather because I was not even thinking about what the monster that we're hunting was, so I followed Juvenator, which was the dumbest idea I could have ever had. So, there you go. Hey Zombie Virus, thank you. I guess you're complimenting my build, it's fairly standard. It's just, you know, basic use longsword, and I feel that it has to be said that it's guild longsword, you know. Otherwise, people are going to wonder why I have high-grade earplugs, because why would you ever use anything that's not Valor, right? Valor is the only way to play this game. I don't really use styles, so you'll be seeing standard Monster Hunter play when you watch me play this game. And thank God for that. Yep, we are one stream away from the 100th part of Doomlink's live hunts. It's been a long time coming. And it will continue on. Forever, probably. For as long as I'm able to record. Again, I haven't been playing too much Monster Hunter in my own time lately. It's been mostly Souls, but this is fine. Oh, I've got a sword and shield team here. Mount City. I would recommend that you guys stay away from the head because I'll be there and I'll be messing you guys up. So, I mean, you're welcome to try and see what you can do with the head. Fortunately, I was able to not trip up Juvenator too much there, and he was still able to get some hits off. I couldn't really see where those blasts were going to be, to be completely honest. But yeah, with this longsword, I believe I'll be sharpening up from white. I don't think this really has much in the way of sharpness after white, so I will actually double check that. Oh no, it has a bit of blue. Okay, I'll sharpen up after blue, I suppose. Oh, I'm blasted. A bit of a dodgy maneuver there on the part of the Teostra. You know, the sudden changes of the animation. I'm not in the best position here because I foolishly did not heal myself when I was, I guess, at about 2/3 health. Something like that. I wasn't really checking to see how much health I'd lost, I just realised that I didn't have full health, and consequently I was put into a bit of an awkward position. I might sharpen up, actually. Whoops, I was sort of hoping that I wouldn't be caught in that. There goes Vernon. Before we started playing today, he said, "Oh, I'm able to join today, and I'm really in the mood to beat down some monsters." So I'm sure he doesn't appreciate dying to a standard Teostra. It's probably really... Oh god, so I'm using the invulnerability period there. Come on guys, let's not have a failed hunt. That would be quite a sad turn of events. Let's do as best we can to get this done. I do realise it looked as if I was missing there, but don't forget about lag compensation. The damage was likely dealt, which is what's important. You think this is a huge Teostra? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'd say Silver Crown Maximum. Oh no, he's kind of big, isn't he? I guess he's kind of big. I think they get bigger, personally. I've been getting hit by everything here. If you haven't noticed. This is definitely not my finest hour. Fuck off, bot. Yeah, he's after me. He knows that I'm... well, maybe not the weakest link, but... well, I'm the only link here, actually. If you think about it, so that must mean that I'm the weakest link. I'm both the strongest and the weakest link, for I am the only link. So I guess if he's got some sort of preference for links... I almost didn't know where that was going, to be honest. While I was setting up this recording, something very scary happened. And it was my capture card video output turning completely green. Like there was this green filter over it. I was like, uh-oh, haven't seen that before. I wasn't so worried that it was going to stay that way, but yeah. It was basically when I opened OBS, it turned everything green. Both my television and what was being sent to OBS turned green, which is not too unusual because, you know, as soon as you connect it to OBS, it can invite some weird things. Oh, for fuck's sake. You know, doing the entire combo is dangerous. Because you're stuck in one place for a while. You have to do the whole sheathing animation and all of that, and that's usually enough time for... Oh, look out, guys. That's usually enough time for Tiestra to smack me a little bit. Do I have a sync issue? I don't think so. Why would there be a sync issue? Can anyone confirm if there is such a syncing issue? There should not be. I'm playing my controller without my hands. I don't think that's physically possible, Juvenator. But yeah, if there is a syncing issue, do let me know. It's possible, I guess, because again, the video did turn green, so I guess something unusual like HDMI video and audio being out of sync, but yeah. Do let me know. I mean, I'd be especially annoyed if the first 20 minutes almost of this recording was out of sync in some way, but better to find out eventually than never. Oh, you say you have a sync issue. It wasn't a question, it was a statement. I have a sync issue. You're definitely not playing with your ass cheeks, Juvenator, but thank you. I've got no idea what this sync issue is. I guess I'm going to have to confirm it for myself to know what it is, because the only person mentioning what it is, or rather mentioning its existence, is... Words are not matching. That's stupid. Okay, well... I don't know. I'm watching. Yeah, there's... Okay, in OBS it's fine. There's no problem in OBS, so... Anyway, let's worry about it afterwards, because visually, within OBS, there's no problem at all. And I don't believe that a syncing issue could occur from OBS to Twitch. That sounds a little far-fetched, but we'll see. I'll try to work this out. Just not while we're hunting this thing. If I hadn't confirmed that it was fine on OBS, and I don't particularly want to dedicate what I'm talking about and this recording to me having a possibly non-existent syncing issue, but, you know, I can't really control that. Okay. So what I will do, first and foremost, is confirm on my playback whether there's a syncing issue. Stick my earphones in my laptop, and give it a try. Well, refreshing would be the... You know, that's the first thing to try. Because your Twitch issues, Vernon, are pretty severe. I've never had a single individual who's had so many Twitch issues in the history of my audience. Okay, let's go refresh the playback and see if I can pick up on the same issue that you're having. Come on. It's so damn slow on my laptop, man. No syncing issue. And I'm glad. My hair is just like... It looks like shit on that side. Still looks like shit. Alright. Don't worry about it, Doomlink. Is that a... yeah, that's an Elder Dragon Gem. Large Elder Dragon Gem, thank you. Well, it turns out that it is actually possible for syncing issues to take place during the transcode or the encode or whatever you would call that. You know, across the stream, it is possible for there to be a syncing issue on the side of the viewer. I didn't think that was possible. I remember last time I was talking about, you know, I was thanking people at the start of a recording that I did in the past for alerting me to a syncing problem right at the beginning, you know. Very early on I was alerted to that, and I was expressing my gratitude and appreciation for the fact that they so quickly told me that that was an issue, because it prevented there being a long stretching issue throughout the recording. And I said that's always going to be on my end, but it turns out that that's not true, which is crazy. And that was a Gold Crown Large. Well, there you go. It didn't look that big to me, but fair enough. My hair is just not being cooperative today. It's nothing to apologise for, but perhaps I could apologise for messing around with it so much. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that Juvenator was playing with his arse cheeks. I would hazard a guess that it was his idea of a joke. I'd say that's a fair guess. I don't know how we want to operate this room. I don't know if we're doing turns. I don't know. I guess we are, because Vernon has specific things he wants to do apparently, so... And I guess Juvenator has things to do as well. Juvenator says yes. In response to me asking if we're going to do turns, I would assume. And then immediately runs to the quest giver only to realise that Autonomic's already there. Yeah, I suppose it would be in order of who joined the room, so... Just to keep it simple, of course. If you do hear a low frequency hum, that is a garbage truck in the street. You're not playing with your ass cheeks, Juvenator. I don't know if I should appreciate your willingness to try to sell it as a narrative, or condemn you for your foolishness. Alright. Ocantor. Radio. What does the Catendant want? He wants to give me an airship ticket, G. Well, that's very nice of him. Hello, Potato. I was wondering if you were even going to come today, because you sent a message to me, I think it was yesterday morning, or was it the day before, I don't know, but you were like, I demand stream now. And, you know, the irony of that is that you don't make an appearance very often, when I am streaming, so, you know. At least you're here today. Indeed, I am not a jukebox who can provide you live entertainment at the push of a button, but, at least you're here now. So, Ocantor, what would be fun? Let's do rapid normal. How weird is that? I've probably used this setup maybe 3 times ever on camera, and that is not including, or rather it is including non-live recordings. So, you know, from before I was even going live. This was, I think, my first G-rank gunner loadout. I generally don't touch guns until I'm getting towards the end of G-rank, just because guns usually require a little bit more effort than other loadouts. For example, Blade Master, you can have one armor set for all Blade Master loadouts basically, and then also you've got the fact that ammunition costs money, and sometimes you don't have too much money on hand when you're going through the game prior to G-rank. So I always treat gunning as an endgame process, and this just happened to be my first endgame gunner set, I guess. I did have a gunner set prior to this point, because this was from ultimately a higher rank game, and actually, come to think of it, I was using a heavy bowgun in Generations on the 3DS through, like, basically through most of the game. So that would be an example of a game where I actually used a bowgun before hitting high rank, or, you know, the highest rank that you can reach. What am I doing with myself? I'm looking for Exchanger. I'm going to check again here in case I missed it. It's not here. It's fine. What would I like? I would like... Well, what's my defense here? Defense is probably fine. Look, I'm not worried about getting hit, honestly. Let's look for Sharpshooter. There we go. We are going normal after all. I'm glad that I remembered to do that. Again, much like, you know, things like bringing oils for Sword and Shield, sometimes bringing coatings for the bow, I do sometimes also forget to eat eat 4 Sharpshooter when using a normal heavy bow gun or normal light bow gun, so yeah. What a foolish individual I am at times. Needleberry, there you go. And I will also, not for this hunt, but just for the future, purchase some Pierce shots. Because I am low on Pierce, overall. Okay. And apparently I don't have maximum normal level 2, that would be helpful. Oh shit, when did I shoot normal level 2? It must have been the last time I was going normal heavy, like, well, heavy normal I should say. Normal heavy bowgun, which was a few recordings ago. Well, that makes 2 of us, Potato. I've been busy as well. Juvenator claims that this will be a no-damage run. Which... fair enough. I'm not exactly going to hold him to it, but I do expect, you know, celebratory calls in the chat if he succeeds in what he has set out to do. Alright, so I do actually have Demon Shot here, so I'll go and get that ready. I can barely remember what this gun shoots, honestly. Sorry, Werner. I didn't grab that Demon Affinity, but that's alright. I've got Slicing level 1 here, let's go and get that ready. Oh, what the hell was that? Why didn't you draw load that? That was really weird. The game just ignored my button input, I suppose. Whatever. I'll start off with Slicing because it's only 24 and I can get that out pretty quickly. It's single shot, but actually, come to think of it, I won't get it out that fast because it's single shot and, well, single shot's faster than rapid fire as far as getting out the ammunition, but the point is it's only 3 in the chamber, so that's concerning. There's going to be a lot of reloading, and I apologise for the low frequency hum. That is a garbage truck, and I can't very well go out there and say, hey, can you come back later? I'm currently recording. Just, I don't know, go to some other street. So, there you go. I'm not going to aim for the back spikes because they break so easily. Especially with Pierce Gunners. This is going to be a fast hunt though, I have to say. You're going to snipe my hunting horn set? Yeah, you're welcome to. It's not something that I hold closely abreast. I consider it to be a fairly standard hunting horn set. It's the sort of set where you just think about what you'd probably want with a hunting horn and that's what's on the armor set, so... yeah, nothing too exciting. God, that is negative 25 dB of low frequency hum. That's intense. Bloody hell. I'll try not to draw attention to it because that only makes it more obvious that it's there, but yeah, that's crazy. Well, here we go. Good paralysis. Can almost get out the... let's reload now. Get out the rest of my... oh god, rapid fire rain too. You can see that these hunter arms are from a long time ago. Long time ago. Charge shot 2 and rapid fire rain 2, jeez. No thank you. So I generally don't like rapid fire normal. The reason why is because you're less accurate when you're shooting rapid fire, and normal is all about being accurate. So yeah, I'm not a fan of it. See, like, I can't get all the damage out in that one moment. The whole idea of rapid fire is that you're only doing more damage than single shot if you get all 3 shots out. If you get 2 on... I believe that if you only get 2 on target, you're dealing the same damage as single shot, and then if you get the 3rd one, then you're doing more. But the reality is that it's actually hard to get even 2 shots on target on a weak point on a moving target. Single shot's not a problem because that's just 1 shot, it's done, and you've dealt all the damage in that moment, but rapid fire is actually kind of hard. That is the reason why you don't often see me use this loadout, it's because I don't like it. Why I still have it, I don't know. I guess I have some sort of sentimental attachment to it, but yeah. Oh, come on. So I'm sort of hoping for his head here. Rejuvenator got hit? Oh, god damn it. Suppose we have to point and laugh and make fun of him now. Particularly the pointing and laughing part. Also, welcome Ghost Clock. That's an interesting name. Or in the words of Linebeck, that's a weird name. Not that that would be a Linebeck voice. I don't know what a Linebeck voice would be, but it probably wouldn't be that. I'm a little bit out of critical distance here, but whatever. Not very far out. I could have technically still been within it, but right on the edge of it. Not ideal distance anyway. Even now, I'm not quite happy with that. This is good. Oh, fuck off. But yeah, rapid normal, not really my thing. And I wouldn't really recommend it for anyone. Unless you are just really, really accurate with that sort of thing, but I'm not. Because at the end of the day, it's a moving target. Yeah, very funny potato. Hilarious. He's heading up there. Which is a good opportunity to hit the head, even with rapid fire normal. Let it be known. There goes autonomic. That's why you don't go to that side. It's always better to go to the opposite side to where he starts his dragon breath. Well, the hunt's taking longer than I was expecting because I was not expecting to be so inaccurate with my gun. I was thinking that a Cantor at least would be reasonable with rapid fire normal, but it's really not. Or he's really not. He's just not good enough. He's not allowing me to kill him easily enough. Alright. Auto got hit. He sure did. Yeah, had I brought a pierce gun, this would be over already. Like, well and truly over. This monster would be dead twice over by now if I'd brought a pierce gun, but whatever, I wanted to do something a little different, so here we are. I would have been better off had I brought some status shots of some description. You might notice I don't often bother with status shots, it's because I'm a lazy bastard. When it comes to Monster Hunter these days, I'm a casual hunter, what can I say? It's just what it is. There's a good supernova over there. Oh, that's a bad spot for that to appear. Fucking hell. Couldn't have been in a worse spot. The timing and positioning of that geyser was perfect for hitting me. Well, Juvenator, your no-hit run has been thwarted. You failed, alright. That's what happens when you play with your ass cheeks. The unfortunate thing is that if you actually did develop a talent for playing the game with your ass cheeks, you wouldn't be able to show anyone, unless you uploaded it to some pornographic website. But you wouldn't be able to show people, you can't put that on Twitch. For a period of time, men couldn't show their nipples on Twitch. Imagine, you know, playing with your ass cheeks. In fact, I thought you still weren't allowed to show male nipples on Twitch, but apparently they amended that utterly retarded, you know, pseudo-progressive decision. Such a stricture is only appropriate if you have some sort of mental deficiency. Yeah, and it's okay, some people are mentally deficient. And certainly, some of the minds behind Twitch are, you know, lacking in mental clout, but, yeah, that's... I'm glad someone told them, by the way, that's fucking dumb. And they realised, oh, yeah, okay, let's get rid of that. It's not about who tells them, it's about... Or rather, it's not about how many people tell them, it's about who tells them. The right person would have just been like, let's not do that. And then they were like, oh, okay. That's my theory. Twitch is only progressive if it makes them money. The company is run by a pair of arse cheeks. A living pair of arse cheeks. I can imagine that. That would line up with my experiences. You know, sometimes you hear something and you go, no, because it doesn't line up with your established knowledge of the subject, but no, that makes sense. I can totally believe that. I guess it's Juvenator's turn. Go for it. What is his loadout? The standard. The standard old Orcus Quarkus, although, well, I guess recoil down would be helpful, would it? No. I was about to say, does that allow you to shoot Pierce level 3 with low recoil? And then I realised, oh, that gun doesn't really shoot Pierce level 3. In fact, I don't think it shoots it at all. Skip, okay. Well, back to Vernon. It's a very colourful setup you've got there, Juvenator. Oh dear. But yeah, I definitely won't be using this again. There is a temptation to just remove this because, you know, I am hurting for armor set slots. Absolutely hurting for them, so if anything, I like this set, I really do, but you know what I could do alternatively? I could remake the set. I could make it so that it's not a rapid fire set, you know, I could have a single shot light normal set, which is fine. I don't really feel like that has a place for the reason that I wouldn't want to use a light bowgun over a heavy bowgun for this style of play. I'm perfectly mobile with my heavy normal set. You know, that's the only reason why you would voluntarily deal less damage, given that it's a light bowgun, over heavy bowgun. It's for the additional mobility of light bowgun, but I have evade extender on my heavy bowgun set, so, you know, it is perfectly mobile. So I don't know if I want to actually have a light rapid setup. The only game where I had a light rapid bowgun set, other than this game, was Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and I barely used that. I might have used the absolute bowgun for that set. That might have been my normal light bowgun. I can't quite remember now. Uh-oh. Guys, we need to start clenching, because this is not an easy quest. There's nothing about this quest that's easy, so we have to be very careful. I will go with something that is known to deal lots of damage to a Chameleos, and that is this loadout. This loadout blitzes Chameleos, so let's do what we can. We are definitely going to be eating for insurance. There's nothing about, I mean, one of the only quests that's worse than this one would be Event Valstrax. That quest sucks. Oh, Vernon didn't even get good food. He got Polisher. Yeah, Polisher with a Cantor Godsword. Yeah. Autonomic hasn't eaten yet. I'll go for insurance, I don't mind. I'll take it for the team. I'll take it for the team. Just no one else go and eat for it, because that would be a waste. Someone else can go and get Moxie, or whatever would help them most. So, insurance is taken care of. And we all just need to do our best. The thing with Chameleos is that it's less about what he can do, and it's more about the way you hunt Chameleos. Maybe some people aren't this way, but with Chameleos, I fight him very lazily. I don't really worry about death with Chameleos because he's a very easy hunt. But when he can deal almost all of your health in one attack, like he can in this quest, you realize that actually, oh, he can seriously fuck you up under those circumstances, and I'm oftentimes, and not just me, but generally whatever team that I hunt this monster with, I'm oftentimes killed, and quite quickly. I'm scared now, says Autonomic. Good. All I want for you to know is that you can't just walk in here and play casually. You have to actually try, and I'm not in the habit of trying when it comes to hunting Chameleos, but I'll do my best. I will do my best. Juvenator is using dual blades, apparently. He's a bit of a Hellblade fanatic by the looks of it. Good setup, though. Functionally pretty good. I don't know how good Blast is versus Chameleos, but I'd imagine that it's fine. But yeah. Perfectly fine. Come to think of it. Oh, I actually happen to have Flaming level 1 here. That's surprising. I may as well top that up. May as well. But yeah, it's mostly internal ammo for this gun, obviously. Alright. You normally take your paralysis set for an easy anything. So, yeah. That goes without saying. Try hard mode activate. Good. That's what we need. That's what we need for this quest. Now, I'm not saying that we're guaranteed to fail. I'm just saying we need to make sure we do the best that we can. Alright, he starts in the... No, he doesn't start where I would expect him to here. He starts somewhere different to Freedom Unite. Let's see if I can remember where to go for this. No, I went the wrong ass way, I think. No, there is a shortcut to that area from around here, but that's fine. I can't remember it now. That's quite alright. In fact, I know how I would have gotten to it more quickly. This was the longest way that I could have gone. Let me put it that way. But I'll get there. It's just confusing because I'm so used to Chameleo starting in a particular area. In this location, not that way though. I'm so used to him starting in a particular location in the jungle from Freedom Unite. But, or just 2nd gen in general, but... He starts here in 4th gen. Alright, starting with Pierce Flaming level 2. This one's quite small, which is good. We don't want a big one. The larger a monster is, the harder it is to evade everything that they do. Oh dear. See, that fucking tongue. I can't get away from that. But I do have good defense with this gun, so that's encouraging. Why I didn't do a draw load, I couldn't really tell you. I wasn't able to escape that because of the stupid... Oh, look out. Life powder time. Yeah, I wasn't able to escape that because of the stupid ledge that I was jumping off. I was stuck in a jumping animation. That was one thing that I always hated about verticality being introduced into Monster Hunter. It's because sometimes you're just trying to run away from a monster and then you're jumping in the air all of a sudden and you don't have any iframes because you're stuck in this jumping animation. You're at the mercy of gravity all of a sudden. And it's terrible. Oh, whoops, I didn't see what the fuck was going on there. Autonomic is down. I definitely wouldn't have recommended heavy bowgun for Autonomic if he wasn't used to hunting Chameleos with heavy bowgun. As I understand it, Autonomic is not, you know, a person who's been using heavy bowgun for a long time. There goes Juvenator. Try hard mode activate, right? But, yeah, I guess he probably doesn't have much experience with bow gunning the Chameleos, and I would not recommend that for this hunt. I would only recommend doing what is comfortable for you in a Chameleos hunt in this hunt. You don't realise how hard a Chameleos is until he's hitting you real hard. That's just how it is. Oh, your controller disconnected. It's probably because of all that arse cheek playing. I'm going to have to stop referencing that because that was never funny. I just want to make it very clear, that was never funny. So, you know, I have to stop referring to that because it might give people the impression that I think it's some kind of funny joke. It's not. So I'm going to stop referring to that. But, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that your controller disconnected. I will take you at your word that that's what happened. That's not to suggest that you have a history of dishonesty, but I don't know. I don't know how much I can trust you. There's a mount. This is good because I'm now switching to flaming level 2, which is focused damage. And I'll be able to aim the head. Aim at the head. Aim for the head, aim at the head. Just not aim the head. Aim the head is not a sentence. Or a statement or a phrase or anything. It's just grammatically wrong. Well, I think we've got one death left, and then the next death will be failure, as I understand it. Yes. I do have bullet geyser if it's necessary. That's right, in this game I don't think you need dragon damage to break the horn. Because that's too clunky. Or something. There you go. Hi Purple Monkey, welcome back. Your second visit to my live stream. It's good to see you again. I always appreciate people who return. You know, you couldn't imagine how many people watch me, follow me, and never come back. You wouldn't imagine it. It's incredible. It is incredible, but thank you for returning. You've reached G rank? That is good to hear. Welcome to G rank. Oh, right. There goes Autonomic. Last chance, guys. I didn't really want to hit the wing there, but whatever. And now I think we're on to rapid fire flaming, yes. Which is dangerous for me because obviously I'm stuck in one place for quite some time. Not only on account of the fact that I'm shooting a lot of shots per rapid fire, but also given the high recoil attached to rapid fire flaming with this bowgun. I mean, that doesn't mean this is a bad bowgun. Great bowgun, it's just not going to be very good for me in this situation. So, I'm a little bit concerned about that. I think he's gone this way. No, he's gone this way. Okay. I just felt that it would be... yeah, this is correct. Yeah, that's correct. His walking forward motion hurts more than it should. That's the thing. What would otherwise be a relatively undamaging attack becomes a rather damaging attack with this monster, so that's part of the difficulty. It's very nice of you to do that. Can he hit me with the oh, bullet geyser? I'm doing my best. I'm here alone right now. I don't know why. But, yeah, because his horn is broken, he will not be able to turn himself invisible anymore. That's the theme of the 2nd gen Elder Dragons. Break their head, and they won't be able to do the thing. Teostra can't create his flame aura, Chameleos can't go invisible, and Kushala Daora cannot summon wind. That's the way it is. You can see that he can still create smoke, but he just can't. Are you really going to combo me? You almost... Look at him! He refused to... The only reason why I survived that was because I had an exit. He targeted me for 3 attacks and I'm a gunner. And he is an event Elder Dragon at G rank level, so... Yeah. I only survived because I had an escape route. Otherwise that would have been it. End of hunt. Bit off target there. More than a bit. Well, a bit, but, you know, enough to not be able to get any of those shots off. Let's do what we can, guys. I have confidence, I think, in our ability to succeed. Juvenator, if you could aim for the back legs, I don't know if that's what you're doing, but the back legs are the flinch zone. So generally with an Elder Dragon from 2nd gen, your flinch zone is the head. In other words, the heavy flinch where they actually fall down on the ground. But in the case of Chameleos, that's his back legs, so oh god. Yeah, so if you aim for the back legs, that will be his knockdown. It's not necessarily good damage, but it will knock him down as a heavy flinch, and that will be good. You can see that he's still visible, just not, well, there you go. Let's capture him. We're almost there, guys. And we got him to this point pretty quickly. So we're dealing good damage, we just need to survive, that's the difficulty here. Yeah, Vernon's going the right way. But like anything, I mean, it really is the number one objective of any hunt. It's to survive. Generally, you can get it done. It's just... the hunt will end if you fail. By dying, obviously. It's very rare that you'll run the timer out, because you haven't done enough damage. So surviving really is the number one priority. Alright. Nicely done, everyone. Good thing we had insurance. And this is one of the best quests for large Elder Dragon gems. Easy, says Vernon. Well, easy if you're actually trying. If you're not, then you'll get punished terribly. You nearly killed me, though. I mean, you guys have to understand that we survived purely by luck there because he launched 3 successive attacks at me, and I only survived because I was able to leave the area. Had I been facing in the opposite direction or in a direction where I didn't have an escape route like that, that would have been the end. Actually, come to think of it, I do still have beer left in this bottle here. Because this glass holds less than what this bottle can pour, so let's not forget that. Then I'll top it up. That is a second garbage truck, by the way, if you're wondering about the low frequency hum. There's not much I can fucking do about that, but whenever I record on a Wednesday, that's just the way it is. I don't ask for it, but It always happens. Wednesday seems to be a typical day for me to record, so there you go. I didn't get a large old dragon gem, but that's fine. I hope someone else who needed it did get it, because I don't need them. I've got enough. That Chameleos didn't have insurance, you're right. Imagine if you killed a monster and then it just fully revived. That would be really shit. They've never done that in Monster Hunter before. Where you actually kill it and then it just revives. That's kind of a standard thing in video games, but you just don't get that in Monster Hunter, and thank God for that. Thank God for that. They just, you know, mess with the health of the monster to make it a longer process to kill it. Okay, so we have a lot of honey, so I should be able to make plenty of mega potions. Very good. Let's go and do some combining. And I think I have more honey in trading at the moment, so I should be able to get most of this back. Not all of it, certainly not all of it, but I'd say a decent amount of it back. I'm getting rid of all my potions here, and that should do me for the moment. And I'll buy 2 stacks of potions. Maybe 3, for good measure. There we go. It's just easier to have them in the box rather than have to go and purchase them every time. There are certain things that I keep in the box and certain things that I do manually purchase when I need them. But potions are not one of those things. It used to be the case that I would purchase potions from the shop, but I eventually decided that I didn't want to do that. It was only recently, it was like 3 years ago, I think, when I decided that I wouldn't purchase regular potions from the shop anymore. Well, you know, each time I needed them. I would instead buy them to the box. But yeah, what is our next hunt, by the way? Trader, what do we got? Oh, only halfway done, but that's alright. I was really expecting it to be done by now, but it's... that is not the case. Whatever. Life goes on. Again, I do apologise for that hum. No, my farmer isn't slacking off, I'm slacking off by not doing enough quests. Just goes to show that I have not been playing very much. Because it feels like it was a long time ago when I last traded for honey. But I've only done 5 quests since then, so... yeah, that would be the reason why it's taken so long. Welcome back, Purple Monkey. Let's see what Juvenator puts... oh... wait, who posted? Was that... no, Vernon posted last, so it would be Autonomic's turn, unless he's decided to skip. Why, I don't know, but... yeah, that was Vernon's quest. It's always a mystery with Autonomic. He never tells you what he's going to post before he posts, even if he knows what he's going to post. Potato, you're always lurking. There's no need to announce that you're lurking. You just do it. And like 80% of the time. Alright, so... what would be fun to use? Dual blades. How about dual blades? I'd like that. Unless there are some good blunt dual blades that I could use. What am I... do I have blunt dragon dual blades? Is that an option? Let's see. I don't think so. Oh, the Fatalis dual blades would work, I think. I do think so. Let's have a look. Fatalis dual blades. Yeah? Check that out. Now, did I craft anything else that would also work for that, or... no, this is it. Alright, so... Juvenator is again hoping for a no damage run. Very well. Hey Hossein. Excuse the low frequency hum, it will be gone within the next 2 minutes, would be my guess. They are pretty efficient, those garbage truck drivers. Hey, there's Exchanger with defense up. I'll take that. Thank you very much. But yeah, I don't think I've used this on camera yet. Blunt drag and dual blades. You can see that I won't be getting the increased damage immediately, but it won't take very long. That's only a tiny sliver of blue. Alright, catch you later. And thanks for making an appearance. Okay, and I think we're ready to go. Vernon's using the Vulcanus, I think it's called. Vulcanus, whatever you want to call it. But, I think, well, it was Blast Awaken, or Slime Awaken, back in 3 Ultimates, so... I don't know if it had an Awaken back in Try. It must have. Must have had one, but... That was a pretty good boost you did there, Autonomic. Because I was running around and you still managed to get me. But, yeah, I don't remember what its Awaken was in Try. Is your laptop okay after that laggy hunt? Yeah, it's alright. It's, look, my laptop was fucked before I threw a controller at it, so it'll be alright. I never would have thrown it in the first place at my laptop if my laptop wasn't so expendable. It really is expendable, so... Yeah, but it's fine, it's just got a big dent in it. It's not a big dent, that would be going a bit far. But it's a dent. I'd be more concerned about my controller, to be honest, but it's fine. You know, people did complain in the past, like back in the days when you had the console war of 360 versus PS3, people would always complain about how cheap the PS3 controller felt in the hands. But the reality was that it always held up. I had one friend who was like, "Oh, I could snap a PS3 controller in half if I wanted to. That's how it feels." And maybe he could, but why would you? The point is that no amount of accidental abuse would actually break a PS3 controller. At least not in my experience. One of my old PS3 controllers used to have a problem with its left analog stick, and I used to fix it, I would smash it on my table. I would actually smash it so that pieces of the controller would chip away. And that controller lasted a long time. Like, the thing was in pieces, but it lasted, it was still functional, it was fine. And, yeah, it was good. So, the point is that the PS3 controller, DualShock 3, is actually pretty sturdy. And I would say that the original DualShock and DualShock 2 controllers are also similarly sturdy and rugged, despite how they might feel or look or whatever. In other words, you don't need a rock like an Xbox controller. You know, this thing that if you threw it at someone's head would probably cause permanent brain damage. But, you know, it helps for it to be solid, I guess, but and I haven't really thought about this, but I would guess that the weight of the controller would play a part in the fatigue of playing for long periods of time. I would guess that a heavier controller would be harder to play on for long periods of time, but having said that, I don't think so, because ideally you're not supporting the weight of your controller. Generally you would have it on your lap or on your leg or something like that. It's not really something that you would hold up, so maybe it wouldn't play a part. But I do think it could, under certain circumstances, so I do think the reason why a DualShock 3 controller, or quite frankly any PlayStation controller prior to the DualShock 4 was light was precisely because they wanted it to be just a good... What is going on? Oh, I see, it was in the lava, unfortunately. That's why the mount failed. But anyway, the logic and theory behind the controllers being so lightweight, I think, was because they would minimize fatigue for gamers. Yeah, DualShock 1 to 3 were almost the exact same controller in terms of construction. So therefore they're equally light and all of that. So if you remember the DualShock 2 being light, then, you know, same thing with the PS3 controller. I was always impressed with the fact that they had a PS3 controller that was totally unchanged from the original, basically. Because it shows that once they had a good idea, they stuck with it. And some companies really struggle with that. Some companies just can't have a good idea and stick with it. They have to change it. And, you know, it doesn't matter if it's worse, it's different, and we need progress. People will change perfectly good things just for the sake of progress, but not actually have a superior idea to the original idea. They're just so desperate to make something different that they are perfectly willing to devolve the product or make it worse or something like that. You get that a lot with website design, like web design. Imagine you've got these web designers that you employ, but, you know, the website's perfect, but what do? You change it because you've got web designers to pay. You give them something to do. Fuck up our website that's perfect. You know, that's an example. And you will see that everywhere in the world. So I was always impressed with the fact that the controller basically didn't change for 10 years. More than 10 years. It was like 15 years of the controller being unchanged. And yeah, but having said that, the PS4 controller was good. I very much liked that controller. One thing that I didn't like was that clearly the build quality was worse, because I have a problem with my PS4 controller and started having that problem about 1 year into having owned it, and I wasn't being aggressive with it. I wasn't playing it or playing with it in a way that would do harm to the controller, and the right analog stick started to have issues. So I think even though, this is ironic, even though it's got a bit more weight to it, it feels like a more premium product than the old DualShock controllers from before DualShock 4. It's not as reliable. It actually doesn't work as well as those controllers did. It's shocking. I mean, it just goes to show it's all about appearances, isn't it? It's not about how well it's actually manufactured and about how reliable it is. It just, oh, it's a little heavier, so, you know, this has better build quality. Well, clearly not, because the thing was fucking up with almost no use. But my PS3 controllers, like my DualShock 3s, have lasted very, very well. Like, they've survived some serious punishment. Eventually they do break down, but, you know, it wasn't like that DualShock 4. That was pathetic. That's the reason why I'm using this right now, and not my DualShock 4. I used to use my DualShock 4 on my Switch, but I stopped using it at all because I just can't deal with that analog stick crap anymore. And yet they're so expensive. They're expensive because there's more to the controller now. It has a touchpad, and it works as a, well, not touchpad, it's more of a trackpad, and there's also, it's like a big button as well, so, excuse me. So yeah, there's more to the controller now, so it's more expensive than a DualShock anything prior to 4 would be, but you're getting, from my experience, worse reliability, so there you go. I find that crazy, but it's in keeping with the standards of our era, and that is that things are less reliable, things are not built to last anymore. That really started to come to an end at the beginning of this century. The beginning of this century was the beginning of products being manufactured to last for a specific length of time, and that's usually a short length of time. So... But yeah. Topping up my beer. You don't need to apologise to us for getting hit, Juvenator. If you're going for a no-hit run and you fail, that's not something to apologise for. The only person you should apologise to is yourself, because it hasn't affected our hunt. I think I'll get one carve on this tail. I don't need the tail. I'm just carving because I'm a hoarder. Autonomic succeeded in his no-hit run. There you go. That's another conquest sphere. I get a lot of those. Again, I don't need them, so I get them. That's how it always is with these rare items. As soon as you don't need them, they all start flooding in. Alright. So I suppose, I mean, unless Juvenator does actually have something that he wants to post this time, I suppose we will be looping back to Vernon. We'll wait for his confirmation on that fact. Don't be such a shit stirrer, man. Thick spike. That might be high rank. If you're not getting the spike that you need, then it might be that it's high rank. Yeah, I'll show you my hunting horn set. I'll check thick spikes first and foremost, because I have a feeling that'll be a high rank drop. Annoying as it is, I think it's technically possible for thick spikes to drop from the G rank version, assuming thick spike is a high rank drop, but the chances would be much worse. So let's have a look. Where's my Acantor stuff at the top here? So we've got spike and thick spike. No, thick spike is the G rank. I'm surprised you're not getting them. They are almost a guaranteed drop if you break the back spikes, so... Huh. That's unlike you, Autonomic. Usually you have very good luck. I'll equip my hunting horn set. Well, I didn't really need to equip it, but you know. This is it. It's just standard. It's nothing too special. The logic behind it is increased attack because the motion value for hunting horn's kind of bad, so I just increase the damage of the hunting horn to the best of my ability. I have high grade earplugs for the reason that I don't want to be interrupted while playing songs. I have Knockout King because this is a weapon that can deal KO damage, so I want a little bit of extra KO damage just to make the weapon more functional outside of playing songs. And directly relating to the playing of songs, I do have Horn Maestro to make those more effective. Well, specifically for them to last longer. So, you know, fairly logical, fairly standard. Nothing too exciting. The talisman is KO plus 10 3 slot, which Vernon likely has, because this is surprisingly, I mean, as good a talisman as this is, it's not too hard to get. So... whether or not this is actually required to make this set, I couldn't say. You might be able to get away with plus 9 3 slot, but I'd suggest that you try to get a 3 slot talisman with KO. You'd probably be able to... I'm going to just assume that you can achieve this set with a plus 8 3 slot. I'm not sure what you mean by different shelling times. What does that mean? The question... oh, different shelling types, I see. The idea of the different shelling types is both a matter of range and a matter of what deals the most damage. So normal shots, the idea of... I'm guessing you're talking about gunlance. So as I understand it, normal gunlance shells will allow you to shoot more, but you won't be able to... It deals the least amount of damage, but you can shoot the most. Long, I believe, is best for... This is the problem. Long and wide. One of them is best for Wyvern Fire, and one of them is best for the heavy shot at the end of your combo, and I can't remember which is which. The reason why is because I just don't care. I don't make a decision on what gun lance I use based on the shelling type. So therefore I haven't properly committed to memory which is best for what. But I can tell you that normal is generally the worst shot type. But if shelling types don't matter too much to you, then normal's fine. So, yeah. I couldn't say, Vernon, I'm not sure why. Juvenator, do you want to post? If not, then Vernon can. I would like to establish that. I realise that Vernon might want to make this set, but I wouldn't recommend that, not while I'm live. I'd like to continue hunting if possible. Alright, well, that's a very uncharacteristic farewell. Not the style of the farewell, but rather the fact that a farewell was given by Juvenator. Usually he just leaves. Well, I don't know if Zombie's still watching. Zombie, if you're still watching, you have an open space. I'm sorry that I didn't, I guess, tell you that you're welcome to play, but you didn't have a space to play. But you do now if you're still watching, so... yeah. And quite frankly, this invitation, if Zombie is not here to play, is extended to any person who would like to play and is able to play, because there is now a free spot. And Vernon also has time to... oh, never mind. He's just posted a quest. I was going to say he has time to go and work on his set if he wants to. Kikan means danger, yes it does. Zoruz, interesting name. Alright, you can post high rank Kushala Daora if you want, I'm not going to stop you. Zoruz didn't like the quest. He was like, no, I'm not doing this. What a dick. Seeing as though I've got a hunting horn, actually no. If we're going to hunt with 3, and we likely will be hunting with 3, it's a shame that Zombie's not here, but, you know, people don't stick around. They really don't. People are allergic to watching a stream for longer than 30 minutes, so... yeah, unfortunately, I'm not able to give him that spot because he's not here. But, anyway. What should I use? Let's go Sword and Shield. That would be fun. And we'll stick with Dragon. D Island. How hard is it to just write Deserted Island? Like, it's not that long. You can fit Deserted in there. So many people just know it as D Island and nothing else. A friend of mine in the past used to just call it D Island for fun. He knew exactly what it was, but he'd always call it D Island because it was, you know, somewhat funny. Goodness me. That was like part laugh, part hiccup, part lots of things. Vernon wants to make Rathalos XR. He's overall trying to make a hunting horn set. He's trying to imitate my set, which uses Rathalos XR pieces. Not that I can demonstrate that at this time, but... You'll just have to trust me that it has Rathalos XR pieces. I don't know if you confirmed that you had an appropriate talisman for it, Vernon, but do you have a good KO talisman for that? That's fine. Vernon's going AFK for the start of the quest. He's hoping he doesn't spawn. Oh, you do have a good KO talisman for it, that's good. But yeah, he's hoping he doesn't spawn with the monster, that would be awkward. Yeah, again, the KO talisman is not hard to get. You would think that plus 10 3 slot for KO would be harm, because it is so good, but it's not. Surprisingly, the chances are pretty high for receiving it. Especially if you've done talisman farming with the Brachydios quest. If you've even done a little bit of that, you've probably got a good KO talisman. Trying to get that tail. Oh, feels so good to be using Sword and Shield. Feels like it's been ages. It's like coming home again after so long. Just that beautiful mobility. Let's get on the face there. I'm somewhat tempted to remake my Sword and Shield set with Sharpness +2. Because I think the only Sword and Shield that I have that can't make use of Sharpness skills is this Sword and Shield, and I do have the White Fatalis Sword and Shield as well. And in the case of that Sword and Shield, it can really only be used with Sharpness skills. So I might remake this Sword and Shield set. I don't think I would necessarily be able to get better defense, because I do think that ideally I would use the High Booster Feather, which always forces one to compromise the defense of an armor set. It's just how it is. The defense of the High Booster Feather is not very good, so... But I think I can get better defense than this set, because you can see that I have 3 Rarity 8 pieces. And Rarity 8 basically means lowest G-rank defense in terms of armor pieces, so... And then obviously Rarity 10 means highest defense for G-rank pieces. That's what it essentially means, so I can probably do better defense-wise than this set if I choose to go for Sharpness +2. Let's see what we can do. I don't think I'll work on that immediately, but I think that would be a good objective. I like this Sword and Shield, let that be known, but I think I'd prefer the White Fatalis Sword and Shield. But again, I wouldn't use it with this set. With this set, the White Fatalis Sword and Shield would not even be close to contending with this thing. I will check my Sword and Shields to see if any of them wouldn't work well with Sharpness +2, but I think this is the only one. I don't have any flash bombs, but, you know. Wonder if this is, wonder if this person's name is a reference to Shitsu. If so, then, you know. Fellow Code Geass lover over here. And for anyone who doesn't know, Code Geass was one of my first shows that I watched. Back when it was airing, the first season. Because I started watching anime properly back in 2006, so Code Geass was a big thing for me. I mean, it was such a good year to get into anime, you have to understand. So many good shows were airing. You had Code Geass, Black Lagoon, Death Note, Hellsing Ultimate. I mean, it was an amazing time. Higurashi, Suzumiya Haruhi, I mean, it was just endless. What a year. What a year. For some people who liked it, you had Shakugan no Shana. I mean, it was never ending. What a year. I think I did see a Code Geass tattoo, yeah, then. I think I picked it out. I don't think you were specifically showing it. I think I happened to see it. The Armakogias lava for sure. Easy hunt. Poor bastard, he couldn't do anything. But Vernon was leeching the whole quest. I think there's a third garbage truck coming. That would be extremely annoying if so. That all 3 garbage trucks come while I'm recording. I would fucking lose my mind if that's the case. I think that is the case. Hopefully it's going somewhere else. It might just be somewhere close by. But if it actually comes down into this street, I'll be pissed. Because again, like, I'm trying to record a bloody live stream here. Vernon's a leecher. He wants free materials. As you like, Autonomic. I mean, I would recommend committing to one thing and then moving on to the next thing. Just stick with Kushala Daora. I mean, whatever you want, but make sure that you have a clear objective. Don't put yourself in a position where you're not entirely sure of what you want to hunt in this moment. If you're going to work on Elemental Sword and Shield. But I mean, I guess you can go back and forth. If there's any recommendation that I would make, it would be do what feels comfortable. And if that's comfortable, then do that, I guess. But I personally try to commit to one task, so if I decide, okay, I'm going to make all elements for this weapon type, I'll do that before working on anything else. Because I seem to get better results that way. Or it feels that way. It feels like I have, feels like I make more progress that way. But everyone's different, I suppose. I'll be live for another 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so. There you go. I guess 40 minutes, yeah. It'll be a 2-hour-long live stream. Nothing too fancy, nothing too lengthy. Mainly due to my schedule being a little tight. But, yeah, like if I changed my mind and decided, no, I want to do a 3-hour-long recording, I wouldn't be able to do that. So, because I don't have the time. I might record tomorrow, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know how I'll feel tomorrow, it's all about how I feel. Like, if I feel like I'm able to go live, then I'll do it. But if I don't feel like I can, like if I'm not emotionally present for that, or not willing to do it, I won't do it, because why would I? I'm under no obligation to do it, so, you know, it's better that I record when I'm in the mood to, otherwise I'll be in a bad mood, and that's no fun. But yeah, part of it's schedule related, as far as me not recording as much as I used to, but part of it's also mood related. When you're, in other words, if you're busy, you're less inclined to go live in your free time. That's what it means. Some people are different though. Some people spend all of their free time going live, and I can't do that. I just cannot. What would I like to use for this? How about Hunting Horn? I was going to use Hunting Horn before, but I thought we were going to 3-man. CC's not impressed. He sees that it's... yeah, get it? He sees that it's not G rank and leaves, consequently. Which is a little sad, but whatever. You know what? No, let's 3-man this. Fuck it. If someone happens to join, then great, but I will assume that we're 3-manning. And I will equip... Let's go Greatsword. Not that. Wrong Greatsword, unless I have a good blunt Greatsword for this, which I don't think I do. Oh no, I do. Excuse me. Blunt Greatsword, and we will equip... you. Yeah. That's a good setup. Good enough for me, anyway. I'll be keeping an eye out for Exchanger, first and foremost. I need to stop saying that. I mean, you guys know, but maybe some don't know. I'm sure when I say it, I'm sure every time I say it, someone's hearing it for the first time, that I'm looking for Exchanger, but some people are just like, oh god. I know, Doomlink, shut up. Well, I'm sorry. I'll never forget when I was recording Dark Souls, and I was explaining, like, some process in the game, and some guy in my chat was like, I know that, I've played this game so many times, and I was just shocked. I was like, you do realize that you're not the only person watching this live stream, and furthermore, you are not the sole target of my commentary right now. Like, what the fuck? It was just really weird. I was just like, do you think I'm talking to you specifically? It was so weird. I just couldn't believe it. I had to clarify that I hadn't misunderstood what he had said. Because I thought, well, no person could be that stupid. But no, he was actually thinking that I thought he didn't know. He personally was unaware, and that I was informing him specifically of how to do something in the game. I mean, that was not the case. I was just making a general comment on the process, and it was interpreted in that way, and I'm just like, what the fuck? It was incredible. But yeah. I don't know where that fucking truck is. It's not in my street, but it's close enough for it to be humming away. Bastard thing. I'm going... Puncture is... no, let's not go there. I will not sabotage the good men who deal with our waste. Uh-oh. Having said that, I think he just entered my street. He's after me now. He heard what I said. He's like, oh. If you're gonna threaten me, I'll come and drive in here and include you in the garbage. You'll be disposed of. Oh, can I get this out? No, not quite. I can get this out though. Good flinch. Is that? Oh, that was actually on the head. I was thinking that was on the neck. Because again, one of the problems that you have with Kushala Daora, I've mentioned this many times before, it is the fact that you think you're dealing damage to the head, which is the only way to get a heavy flinch, but then you're actually only dealing damage to the neck. And the line between the neck and the head hit zone sometimes is not clear at all. We can assume that lag compensation dealt the damage there. Well, rather, hope. Rather than assume, let's say hope. There's no need to assume or hope under those circumstances, however, we did actually, on our screen, hit the monster. I don't believe there is ever a circumstance where if you can visually see that you've made contact with the monster, that the damage is not dealt. I don't think that's actually possible for that to happen. So he's poisoned, which is great. Whoever's running poison, good on you. Seriously. That is autonomic. Nice work. Poison longsword. You've made me a happy chap today by using that weapon. Garuga Longsword too, that's the... I suppose I recommended that, I seem to recall that. But yeah, great longsword. Oh, fuck off. What do you need, Autonomic, from this high rank monster? If it's horns, then I have to make sure that I break the head, or, you know, make sure that I help in breaking the head. Not as if I'm the one guy who's going to do it. It's all me, guys. I'm the one who does everything. No, I just mean, you know, I'm going to be helping with the process. Oh, you have Poison Sword and Shield as well, Vernon. That's good. Well, we don't have to worry about him not being poisoned, put it that way. He's going to be poisoned permanently. I'm guessing that's Gold Raytheon Sword and Shield you have? Let's have a look and see. I mean, that would be the... that would be my Sword and Shield of choice. Oh, he's got the Ear Prey Sword and Shield. Okay. I haven't seen anyone use that. I don't think I've ever seen someone use that. That's interesting. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's a good weapon, but... I go for the Golden Thorn, or whatever the hell they're called in this game. Is that head broken? It almost looks broken. I suppose it wouldn't be totally unusual if it were, because this is high rank. It's not. I just got a clear look at it. I'm going to settle for a level 2 here just to ensure that I get it on target. Beautiful. Very good. Don't have to worry about horns now. Whether he needs them or not, he'll be getting them. Oh, Kushala, are you going to die right here? Yeah, you are. That's high rank for you. PJ's like, what? Already? Yeah, it's high rank. You know, some people do join these quests and don't realise that it's high rank until the monster's dead and they go, hold on. That was a little too quick. And then they check the quest info and realise, oh, it's high rank. The problem is I called this room G rank. This is the concern here. So he's going to think that I've gone and intentionally misled him, but I did not intentionally mislead you. The problem was that Autonomic's in the room and he likes to do high rank quests. But it's not that he likes to do high rank quests. The point is that he likes to make weapons which requires the killing of high rank monsters. That's not, you know, some dysfunction that is unique to Autonomic, as I was implying in my wording. That would be unfair. Daora Scales Plus is what you need. Well, you'll be getting those. Plenty of those. Hopefully you got as many as I did. I probably got about 4, something like that. I didn't check what I had carved. Alright, so I guess... I don't know how we're going to do this turns room. I guess we could give PJ a turn. Look, what I'll do... Oh, PJ has decided that it's his turn. It's his turn. There is to be no question about it. He has posted, and it is his turn. No, I'm glad he's not second-guessing himself. I don't know if I should interpret that as him being entitled, or if he just assumes that because Autonomic posted, then, given that he's the next person down on the list, it would logically mean that he's the next person to take a turn, but still, I don't know. Don't quite know how I feel about that. I'd probably do the same, because I would assume that it would be in the natural descending order, but sometimes rooms can be a bit different. He says break horns as one word. Break horns is a verb that exists. I'm break horns. Anyway, I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be back momentarily. I'm back. Sorry, PJ, I've been AFK. I bet you were strongly considering leaving the room. But you don't need to consider that anymore, because I'm here. There's no need to take such drastic action. I'll take Unlucky Cat for Exchanger, I don't mind. I can live with that. Sure. I'll take a Gourmet voucher, how about that? I'm that guy who uses a Gourmet voucher after literally everyone except myself has eaten. Yeah, that's the way I do things. You know, this shield is bothersome to me. There's too much open white space here. I don't like it. Anyway. I don't know why I've suddenly decided that I don't like the design of the shield. It's never bothered me up until this point, but... Anyway, thanks for coming and checking on me, PJ. Thank you. It's very nice of you. Did you see how he just walked over to me just to check on my status? Just to make sure that I was, you know, doing things to get ready. Sorry I didn't check your skills, Vernon. So I can't see the reasoning behind you using that sword and shield, but, you know. I'll trust that you used it for good reason. I don't know. Again, I didn't say that it was a bad sword and shield. I don't actually know what the stats of that sword and shield are. I've got no idea. Alrighty. Rajang time. We are apparently supposed to break the horns for that person, which I'm happy to do. Happy to do that. Or happy to attempt to do that, would be the appropriate way to phrase that. Whatever. I don't think land compensation would have dealt the damage in that case. That would be setting my expectations a bit too high. I'd like to update you guys on something that you probably don't give a damn about, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I have made a purchase. I was supposed to write this in my Discord, in my update section, and I suppose I will, but I haven't done that, even though I was intending to do it quite some time ago. I purchased a Japanese Nintendo 64. It's a gold one. It's a gold Nintendo 64 with a controller and the console itself. I can just use my power supply that I use for my PAL Nintendo 64 because it just works with that. Like, it's compatible, so that's not a problem. And it will be the correct plug for my country, so that'll be fine. And I have also purchased the Japanese versions for both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on Nintendo 64. I purchased Ocarina of Time from a guy in Tasmania, and I got Majora's Mask from some guy in Japan. That was on a Japanese website. I usually go Mercari. Mercari is usually where I go for that stuff. The Yahoo Marketplace is also very good. Yahoo.jp. But I'm usually on Mercari. I seem to prefer Mercari. But yeah, that will be good. Unfortunately, what I plan to do is to do an Ocarina of Time live stream playthrough, like a second one. I have already done one in the PAL version, but I'd like to do another one in the Japanese version. I don't think I'll do Majora's Mask for a while because I did a Let's Play of that somewhat recently. It was only early last year when I finished that. Maybe you could even say mid last year. Oh, that was interesting. I got a mounting attack off, but I was hit, so I couldn't actually... It looked like a mounting attack anyway. It could have just been a knockdown, but... Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I'll be getting those by early next week. I think I'll have all of it in my hands by at least mid next week. No, maybe not Majora's Mask. That's coming from Japan, and there's a little bit of processing that needs to be undertaken before that can even make its way to me. Has to change hands a few times. But in the case of the game, the console, yeah, that'll be... Well, Ocarina of Time and the console itself, that will be in my hands by next week, but unfortunately I can't record it yet because, you know, my capture card is still out of commission. I won't be able to fix that until 2 weeks from now. So, that will be a thing. It does have a bit... Well, I don't think that's quite right. I think this is... What Potato says in the chat is that he thinks that this lance was originally designed as a greatsword, but then they changed their minds. I don't know. It's possible. It's possible. I don't think it really works that way, though. I don't think... Although I don't know if there is a Zamtrio's greatsword. There might not be. I guess there isn't. I can't think of one. I don't think there was one in 4 Ultimate, and I don't think there is one here, so... I might drop a trap, but it's very dangerous to do it at this time, because he's probably going to leave very soon. Yeah, see. I'm glad I didn't try to place one. I'm glad he hit me and then I had to heal. PJ is not here to deal the damage during the trap, so I'm tempted to wait for him. And I will, actually, because Rajang only just moved, so I don't think there's a risk of him leaving in the time that it will take for me to place a trap once PJ has returned. I don't know how I've been playing here, by the way. I've been playing entirely subconsciously. Here we go, there's a head opportunity. Alright, trap time. It'll be a pitfall. Well, the horns are broken, so I don't know if it's really necessary for me to drop a trap, but I'll do it anyway. Good to see the horns broken. Whoever did that, that was good, because he was in the middle of swinging his whole body around. So that was good. Oh no. Well, that's another way for him to leave the area before you would expect him to. By limping. Well, I'm not too concerned. I'm not too concerned. No, I did not, Potato. Update me on what's happening with Activision today. I'm usually not totally out of the loop when it comes to news, but I will admit that a lot of the gaming news that I hear is from you guys in the chat, because I don't actively try to keep updated. I don't know where he's gone. I can imagine where he's gone. He's probably gone to Area 9. Yes, he has. I'm being an idiot. That's 110% my fault because I'm being lazy. I'm being intellectually lazy by not even thinking about where he would go logically, and logically he always goes to 9 when he wants to sleep. So, what the fuck am I doing, is the question. They're being sued by the state of California because an employee got sexually harassed to the point of suicide, and the perpetrator of said harassment was her boss. Well, that's fun. I seem to recall... Oh, Vernon's like, fuck this, I'm capturing... You do realise, Vernon, that it's not your quest. It's not for you to decide whether or not this monster is going to be captured. If PJ were to place a trap with the intention of capturing, then yes, we would go forward with that, but it's not your quest to decide. He seems to be happy to go for the capture, but... Oh no, see, he's attacking. Let's go for the kill. Like, we're not capturing him because this is not your quest. Anyway, so... I do recall recently people were, you know, getting pissed off about Blizzard. Apparently Blizzard was being unfair to women or some crap. I don't know. I can never keep track of people's people being offended. People get offended over everything these days. It's like, oh, I'm not happy with this or that or this or that. So I don't know if Blizzard actually engaged in any wrongdoing. They probably did, but I wouldn't know. But the point is, people were upset and, you know, all of that. But I hadn't heard about Activision. Activision owns Blizzard. I didn't even know that. When did... That was an acquisition, I'm assuming. That hasn't always been the case. When did that happen? When did Activision acquire Blizzard? What the fuck? They bought them in 2008. Jeez. I never knew about that. Admittedly, at that time, I was not keeping updated on Blizzard news. I was only just casually aware of Blizzard's existence. I suppose I just hadn't found out. But yeah, that's interesting to know. I never knew that Activision owned Blizzard, so... I guess this is related to that scenario? Is this related to that? As far as people taking to the streets regarding Blizzard, okay, it is related to that. But, whatever. Look, Activision deserves anything of what it gets, because they have... Their practices have been poor on the part of gamers, you know. On the part of the people who give them money, their practices have been poor. So I can imagine that there's been some malpractice when it comes to their employees as well. You know, things that have been allowed to happen that have been either pushed under the rug or have not been addressed accordingly. I can absolutely imagine that. That is not to suggest that that has happened. I mean, I'm guessing that it has, but this is no, you know, I do not ordain that this has taken place. You know, people always say allegedly to be careful. I have no influence on anyone, so it doesn't matter what I say at the end of the day, but I will say very clearly that I'm not saying that anything has taken place. However, I can definitely imagine that. I would not be surprised. I mean, Activision just don't seem to have good morals. The president of Blizzard was fired. That's fun. Well, he obviously didn't take action. You can't fire someone on the basis of what other people have done. Clearly he was... I mean, you sort of can. At the end of the day, a president is responsible for what goes on in the company, but at the end of the day, I think he was fired on the basis that this was something that he was aware of and that he had the power to influence or solve, and actually chose not to do that, so that's likely why he was fired. And quite frankly, I'd say that's a good thing, that he was fired. Vernon, did you disconnect or are you done? Oh. My laptop was unplugged for a period of time. I'm glad I noticed before it died. That's a good thing. I guess Vernon has disconnected or something. You left. Okay. Well. No. We don't play like that each year. I'll let him post and then he can fuck right off. I don't even care that PJ left. I don't care. I'm not interested in people who turn up to a room that doesn't even say turns, doesn't say anything, and they just turn up and post their quest praying that we'll join it. Like, that's not how you play Monster Hunter. I'm sorry. Even if you can't communicate, even if communication in our language is impossible for you, and whether that's true or not, I couldn't say. You wouldn't know. But even if it's impossible, you just don't do that. It's not appropriate. It's ridiculous. Hello, Darkside. Post what you want, Autonomic. I'll say hello just so that I can clearly establish that I'm here and ready to hunt. Otherwise, people freak out and think that I'm AFK. This is a German guy, actually. Or at least, he speaks German, allegedly. Okay. Goodbye then. It's a strange departure. I left. Bye. Bye. Anyway. Uh-oh. Dark side. Oh, wait. What am I looking at? Oh, that was so interesting. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you saw that, but his name was above the cat, so I thought he had actually equipped a prowler. That's really hilarious. That's really funny. Glory, glory, Elatrion. Sure. But yeah, that was a really confusing moment right there. Because I actually thought the dark side had equipped a cat, and then I checked that he was... Oh, I checked what he was using, and it was a longsword, and I'm like, hold on. What am I looking at right now? Okay, so... gunning for Elatrion would be the most comfortable means of fighting him, I think. What do I want to use? Maybe Element for a change? That could be fun, I suppose. This would be the loadout for it. Let's do that. Let's do that. That could be fun. Go and join the quest. So in terms of the elements that aren't really appropriate, it would really only be thunder. So if I could shoot dragon, that would be great. Yeah, I noticed that as well, Potato. That could have been something that you mentioned in one of my Souls recordings. I don't know if it was you or someone else, but yeah, there's been a huge influx of new Final Fantasy XIV players, with World of Warcraft being left in the dust. Look, at the end of the day, I think Blizzard did the right thing. Not in terms of the current controversy surrounding their, you know, whatever's going on in the news, but as far as what they've done with World of Warcraft, I think they've done the right thing as far as having official World of Warcraft classic releases. That's good. I think that's a positive thing. They realised that the way in which they had changed World of Warcraft was not what a lot of people wanted, and so they responded by actually having an official release. So that's a good thing. But, you know, instead of just closing down the fan-made servers or whatever, and then not giving anyone anything in return, I think they did the right thing. Anyway, I don't have the capability of shooting dragon, unfortunately, but water freeze and flaming should be good enough. I can't shoot dragon, no. What's happening with my food? I have not eaten yet. I will go for defense large, I think. Alright, weakener and accountant will do. I just don't want to keep these guys waiting. What the hell? One freeze shot? Why did I purchase one freeze shot? I guess the game didn't recognize that I had pressed right on the D-pad to go to the max number of freeze shots. The game failed and I failed. The game failed to recognize my button press, and my eyes failed to recognize that I'd only purchased one shot. Alright. Oh, I do have internal thunder ammunition, but again, I don't want to be shooting that because it's not in any way helpful for an Elatrion hunt. I didn't bring any elemental combination materials, but it's fine. I should be alright. Can you not interrupt my drinking? Do not interrupt me. This will be my last hunt, by the way. In case anyone wanted to know. It's very nice of you to present your weak point to me like that. So basically I'll be shooting freeze and water when he is in this mode, and when he is in this mode I'll be shooting fire. And that's the way we'll do it. Because that's how his elemental weaknesses work. Well, see, that was an opportunity to attack the head, but I couldn't see anything for that period of time, and I was half expecting for him to be flashed out of the air, so I didn't ready myself for that head opportunity in the way that I should have. Which was unfortunate. Ugh. I do have to get Full House 3 eventually. That's important that I do that. Well, not important, it's not like a necessity. But it's important in the sense that I've wanted it for so long, but still haven't taken the time to get it. So I guess that means I should actually take the time to get it at some point, eventually. Oh, back to freeze. But yeah, a bowgun of this kind is really made for monsters like Elatrion. It's typically made for quests where there are different types of monsters with different elemental weaknesses, but as far as a single monster is concerned, yes, Elatrion is really designed for a weapon like this. Are you going up already? What the f is your problem? Stop this. Stop this thing. I hate that. I really, that's one of my pet peeves with Elatrion. That's one of the things that I've always had a problem with. It is that stupid Ice Breath. I will try to get in position to do as much damage as I can here. That was a bad time for the paralysis. That's not something that I would blame him for necessarily. It's just, it happened to not be good timing for me personally. Because I was ice blinded. Oh, both horns broken, check that out. That's pretty good. I mean, that was a fast double horn break, you have to admit. Paralysis or not, that was impressive. I might max potion here just to make it nice and quick and so that I'm not wasting any healing wares. I actually haven't used any healing wares outside of... Oh, maybe I was using... No, I wasn't even using first aid meds. Okay, turns out that I've only used one max potion in this recording and nothing else. So I almost... Not this recording, in this hunt. And I regret actually using that max potion. That was probably unnecessary. Because I hadn't used anything prior to that point. Oh, whoops, he's back on the ground. Hadn't noticed. I could have honestly kept my flaming shots in the chamber. I have used this loadout before on Elatrion on camera, but it was a while ago. It was probably almost a year ago. I'd say about 8 months. Again, this is why I hate the fucking Ice Breath. It's terrible. I couldn't do anything to avoid it there. This is the point. It's the fact that it's so easy to be in a position where you can't avoid it. It's very easy. It's incredibly bothersome to me. See, Darkseid took it in the face there. I'll help him out. Because I can... Not only can I empathize, it's beyond empathy. I literally just experienced it. And I know how annoying it is. back down on the ground. Oh, I was not expecting him to continue again in that direction. Fuck off. I'm not impressed by that. Now, back in 3rd gen, he would not change modes so quickly. Him changing modes this frequently would be an indication of low health. He is not at low health right now. He's probably at about half health. So, yeah, this is ridiculous. The fact that he's changing his mode so often. It's honestly ridiculous. No, he's still in flight mode. There goes the tail. Nicely done. Oh, he wasn't in flight mode. God, that's confusing. I had a feeling that he wasn't in flight mode. There wasn't enough blue on him, and I was like, hold on. Yeah, now he's in flight mode, though. Just as well. If you can't deal dragon damage, I'll tell you what. Just whip out a flaming weapon. You'll be effective for most of the hunt, by the looks of it. The point being that it's ridiculous that I have 2 elements on hand that are appropriate for this mode, and yet he seems to be in the air more than anything. So he's about to go up again. What the fuck? What's your problem? I'm just not used to this. Like, as a person who's mostly fought Elatrion in 3rd gen, I'm just not used to this crap. That was a good hunt, though. That was pretty good. That was quick, that was clean. We did have a death in the end, but I'm perfectly in sync with Darkseid here. Very nice. Good hunt. I suppose that most of the damage was dealt through Pierce at the end of the day. I don't think I would have been one of the main damage dealers there, definitely not. But still, good hunt. You're trying to make the set that I'm using now? Autonomic? It's good. I would recommend in a game like this, specifically because this game has internal ammunition for element, I would recommend making a set for each element. It's definitely appropriate for, like, let's say for example that you really want to use elemental light bowgun as soon as possible. Making a general use set is perfectly appropriate. But I would use that in future, like when you have lots of different sets, I would use that first set that you make with a bowgun like the absolute bowgun that can be used in multiple situations, like with different weaknesses. Was that 2 Sky Swayers? I think I just got 2 Sky Swayers, what the fuck? It looked like I did. Anyway, yeah, the point is that the best scenario, it always was the case, that the best way to deal elemental damage with a light bowgun was to, rather than rely on a weapon like the absolute bowgun, have a bowgun for each element and focus on that. You could have just one armor set, but specifically making different bowguns, but in this game, what you really want to do is lean into the internal ammunition for element. It's really, really good in this game, and that's one of the things that I love about this game. So many aspects to this game I feel are not making Monster Hunter better, just different, not necessarily worse or better, but different. But when it comes to internal ammunition, I find that to be an absolute boon to the series and a positive step forward, and I love that for elemental gunning. And so therefore I have a lot of different armor sets. I can just show you quickly before I finish up. I have... The only one that really is different from the rest would be my ice light bowgun, because you can see that I have reload speed +1, because this particular light bowgun, the Daura's light bowgun, is... well, it has pretty slow reload, but for the most part, my armor sets are the same. You can see that I've got not only element attack up, but also a skill for the element itself. And I have a specific bowgun attached to that set, so the same for Dragon as well. And then this, which is what I'm using right now, is my general use set for the Absolution bowgun, which is good for hunts such as Elatrion, and also multi-monster hunts, where the monsters have different weaknesses to element. Because you don't have to worry about only being able to shoot one element, or even 2 elements. You can shoot all 4 of the primary elements. But anyway, I do thank you all for watching. That is going to conclude my recording. I will see you all next time I'm doing Monster Hunter or anything else that you would like to see. I don't know if I'll be recording tomorrow, we'll find out, it really depends. But I will let you know either way, if you are on my Discord. I will see you all then, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.